What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management, back here to bring you guys another video today. So here you can just see I'm on Fomc right now. I was just kind of scrolling through to see if I could find any interesting articles. Nothing as of yet, but hope you guys are all having a great weekend anyway. This was an interesting week in the market once again. It was also the first full week of trading during September. And yesterday was also quadruple witching. So that is the third Friday of every last month of the quarter. So the next one is going to be in December, the third week of December. But I'm going to jump on to Yahoo Finance right now. We're going to discuss some topics. I'll explain my sort of expectations, outlook, overview of the markets next week or the upcoming weeks. And we'll also briefly recap some trades I took this past week, how the markets reacted this past week, and again, just maybe some stocks to watch for this upcoming trading week. Now, here on Yahoo Finance, I'm not seeing a lot of interesting news again. You can see Fubo was down 11%, BBBY down 8% yesterday. That's mainly it. Just a reminder that on your weekends, of course, it's a time to relax, take a step back, sit back, but you can also do these kind of things and just look through articles and stuff like that. So here is an interesting article. As you can see, the title says, with another Fed rate hike imminent, it's time to take action. So this is in regards to next week, Wednesday. Next week, Wednesday, 1 p.m. my time, 2 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have another Federal Reserve FOMC meeting, and we're going to find out how much interest rates are going to be risen by. So what I'm hearing is an expectation of around 75 BPS, 75 bips, whatever you want to call it. And if it's, whether that's the number or not, we don't know. But if it's more than that, that could signal a lot of red for the market. If it's less than that, unfortunately, that could still signal a lot of red for the market. But we'll see how the market reacts. And that kind of reminds me that there's two things you want to do when those minutes come out next Wednesday. First is pay attention to what's being said. Then second is seeing how the markets react to what's been said. Those are the two things you want to check. So if you can't listen to what's being said about the interest rates, you definitely need to do the second thing and see how the market reacts. Now I'm going to jump on the trading view so we can look at some charts and kind of analyze a few stocks from this past week and again, what I'm expecting from the overall market next week. So to start off with, it's only right that we look at SPX, which you can actually see on the screen here, this S&P 500. But I'm going to put it up with my indicators on it. Not sure why it's looking like that. Hold on. I have to do something here. Okay, now once I click this, it should show up with my indicators. But anyway, SPX, here we are, currently sitting at 3,873. That's the 15-minute chart. Let me pull on the daily chart so you can see that the market is currently bearish. Here we go. So SPX is currently trading below all three of my moving averages. So all three MA lines, which is a very bearish sign, very bearish signal. The RSI recently crossed down. So we're seeing signs that it's slightly oversold right now, which is obvious, but it still looks like it's on a downtrend. You see the two lines there are not yet coming to cross back over. So no sign of bullish momentum just yet. But remember, that could all change Wednesday. That is one thing you guys need to take in consideration. When you get the FOMC minutes and, the Fed speak, technical analysis kind of goes out the way. Doesn't matter, whether you have support zones here, support levels here, this and that. It kind of goes out of the way when it comes to those talks. So keep that in mind. But in regards to my levels, I'll definitely look for a pullback, another about 40 points here, and then potentially a further 40 or 50 points again. That would be my expectation for the rest of September. Of course, in that time, we could have some pushes up, maybe a double top somewhere, maybe here if we reach that level again, and then again a downtrend. So don't expect it to be straight red. That's very unrealistic and also very rare, especially when it's an index like this. Looking at the weekly chart, it's like we're just getting rejected by the moving average and ready to downtrend again. Once again, there's that support zone around 3.6K. But now I want to look at SPY because I have some levels which we broke this week. Some very important levels. on the S&P 500. You can easily see that we're very clearly still bearish, right? And if you zoom out on the chart, you can see that we're below all the moving averages. We've broken a daily support zone. We are on the downtrend to around 145. But at the same time, we could create a new support anywhere around here, which is another possibility, right? Because previous resistance becomes new support. So there's a bit of a resistance between, let's say, 149 and 151. So we're right smack in the middle of that right now. We could see a pullback or a reversal right here. So keep your eyes out on that. Now I want to look at FedEx because FedEx managed to tank the whole market overnight. FedEx had a similar situation to what Walmart had in the middle of July, where some negative news came out in regards to internal processes in the company, and it just sort of stock dropped $44. Actually, no, I think it was $46 at its worst. So overnight, let's zoom in so you guys can see how bad this was. Okay. So Thursday, we were happily up here, still below the moving averages, but happily up here at around 204. Friday, zoop down all the way to 155 at its lowest. So we actually recovered a little bit. If you did get calls, I'm not sure how those moved. I think they moved slightly in your favor. But yeah, FedEx managed to drop the market just with that crazy move. And like I said, it did something similar to what Walmart did back in July, but towards the end of July, I believe. But remember, Walmart rebounded, bounced back very quickly. So let's also look at the Walmart chart because that's a stock I'm looking at going into next week. Here we go. One of the stocks we love to trade in the Discord, along with AMD, QQQ, and of course SPY. So right now we're at $133. Slightly below the moving averages, but slightly above my level of support. So we closed above my level of support, and look, if you see, there's a lot of days we closed just above or below that level of support, strong level around 133. So that is one to watch. Is it going to continue bearish, or is it going to start breaking, finding a level of support here and breaking above again, back up towards 138? That is to be seen. Let's look at AMD now, Advanced Micro Devices, one from the semiconductor sector. As I've said for about 2 months now, I'm very bearish on the semiconductor sector. There is still a chip shortage. There's still a lot of negative news in regards to this sector overall. As you can see, we're below my level of support. We're below the moving averages. We're on the downtrend. Next level to watch out for is around $72. Yes, intraday you might see pushes up. Yes, intra weeks you might see pushes up. But I'm still expecting a push or a drop down to this daily support level before we find maybe potentially some support there. Who knows? And if you're trading this, you can also look at Nvidia. Nvidia does move a little bit different, but you can look at that, and also QQQ. AMD, like I said, if I'm trying to swing AMD, I'm going for puts, which is what I also did this week, by the way, with the 75 puts one time, but I should have done it twice. So here's QQQ. It's a good price point to buy shares, in my opinion. If you're looking at the triple leverage, you can look at TQQQ. Yeah, I mean, again, this zone 280, so about an $8 drop, I'd say, is what you want to look out for. On the other hand, a push up towards moving average, there's still space, there's still a gap for a $7 run upwards. That's what you want to keep your eyes out on. This week, as I mentioned, we did trade AMD in the group, in the Discord, which was effective. And you can look at that again going into next week. Now I want to look at Oxy. Oxy was probably my best trade this week, where I took a swing call from Tuesday to Wednesday, and obviously that definitely paid off. If we just zoom in a little bit, it's actually the only day it went from red to green was from Tuesday to Wednesday, but it still failed to break above and hold above those moving averages, the 9 and 21. Those are my special two right there. It failed. So I went with a $66 call when it was around $64. And obviously by Wednesday, the calls were in the money. But what I did see was it was failing to hold above the moving average. So it was a good time to take profit when it's around 67, 60 or so. That is one thing you want to look out for when you're holding these calls. I saw Lil Mike had taken my call out overnight for the swing. Shout out Lil Mike. But as he mentioned, he was up 122 or 125% and wondering if he should take it or not. In this market, you take it. In any market, you take that. 122% is more than enough. And I'm happy he did eventually get out a win, which is the most important thing. But we could be looking at something similar again for Oxy this week. When the market does do bad, sometimes Oxy, just like Tesla, could manage to hold itself. Look, here is the break above the moving average overnight and a push up towards this resistance zone on the 4-hour resistance zone before the downtrend. But another similar push towards that resistance zone is what I'll be looking at for this week. Look at that. Happens like multiple times in a week. That's a good sign. Also, you could look at it as a triple top over 3 days on the 15-minute chart, which obviously is a strong bearish signal. But overall, that is mainly it for today's video. I did want to remind you guys that we are still going live in the Discord daily. We've got some big plans for the Discord over the next 30 days. So we're looking to get more teaching, more learning, more call outs, more knowledge being shared, more people interacting and engaging, all that kind of stuff. We're trying to do that over the next 30 days. So please stay tuned and make sure you are tapped in. Also, make sure you guys check out the Stock Option Starter Pack. That is a group of 10 videos for you guys. You have access to those for life. It talks about calls, puts, terminology, my trading strategy, different trading strategies out there, all that kind of stuff. And of course, guys, check out all the socials at The Wealth Prince, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And then lastly but not least, make sure you guys have a great weekend. Rest up, take your time to learn, study, look at the charts, but also have fun in the meantime. And apart from that, guys, thanks a lot for watching. That's it from me. I go into making, you go into making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.
Game over.